Thank you, Chairman and members of the board. My name is Erika Schanzenbach. I'm a 19-year resident of Washington County, Virginia. For nearly 10 years now, I've been reaching out to women getting abortions at the facility in Bristol, Tennessee, and now in Bristol, Virginia. I do this through my website, lifebristol.com, and also by going to the local abortion facility to plead for the lives of innocent children there. There are many Christians, some of them here tonight, who stand with me in these outreaches. I have spent hundreds of hours on the sidewalks and public areas around the Bristol killing facility, and I can testify firsthand to what goes on there. First, murder goes on there. Innocent preborn children are brought there to be mercilessly exterminated. They are real human beings, precious children created in the image of God, and Psalm 127 says they are a gift. Human beings are equally valuable inside and outside the womb, and God says you shall not murder. The most important reason to keep abortion businesses out of Washington County is that abortion is murder, and allowing it to go on in this jurisdiction will bring guilt on us before God. We are the strong, and we have a duty to protect the weak. If we allow businesses that murder babies to take root in this county, we are inviting God to judge us. He knows, He sees, and He will judge. I can testify that the Bristol, Tennessee facility consumed much time and resources from the city as well. Police resources, for instance. There were so many calls to Bristol, Tennessee law enforcement in recent years that by the time the abortion facility left Tennessee for Virginia, the Bristol, Tennessee police had made it policy that they would no longer answer our calls at that location. We were informed of this when one of our people called 911 for an incident where a clinic escort sideswiped a Christian standing in the public right-of-way with her minivan. Time and resources were also consumed from the police chief, district attorney, and city attorney, who spent time in meetings and on calls with attorneys regarding our First Amendment rights to peacefully advocate in public areas. Five times between 2018 and 2022, the city of Bristol, Tennessee received legal letters regarding the infringement of First Amendment rights of Christians advocating for babies. These letters had to be responded to by the city attorney and appropriate correction given to law enforcement officers. It brought conflict to the surrounding neighborhood. Among many other things, loud noise was often blasted into the neighborhood through loudspeakers and bullhorns. Clinic escorts used loud siren noises to drown out the voices of Christians reaching out to moms, and they played explicitly sexual and blasphemous music to deter us from being there. Clinic escorts were so physically aggressive and threatening toward those standing for life that in 2020, I filed petitions for protective orders in Sullivan County, Tennessee. While the court openly recognized the reprehensible behavior of the clinic escorts, they denied my petitions. We appealed, and the Tennessee Appellate Court found reversible error in the original decision, vacated that judgment, and the cases are still pending. The reason this issue is full of conflict is that abortion is murder, not health care. The evil of this practice is so deep that it cannot exist quietly in any community where there are God-fearing people who love their neighbors as themselves. Now is the time for you to take decisive action. A statement that you are pro-life is not enough. You must go further than that if you want to keep Washington County from being a safe haven for baby murder. Jesus said, "Whatever you do for the least of these, you've done for me." What are you going to do today to ensure the least little ones in Washington County are actually protected in a real way? The book of Proverbs warns, if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. I beg you, gentlemen, do not faint in this day. Make no mistake, you are the strong, and you can protect the weak. May God give you courage. Thank you.
Thank you.
When I spoke to you at your last meeting, I shared my experience from out at the local killing facility in Bristol and the chaos and disturbance that will come into Washington County if we leave the door open to it. I won't repeat everything I already told you, but I will say a few things to encourage you tonight. Whether it was your intention or not, you now find yourselves at the tip of the spear of a great controversy. Bristol and Washington County are tucked far away from DC and Richmond, here in the hills of Southwest Virginia, yet the national spotlight is finding us. Reporters have come calling. We are a microcosm of the national debate, they say. And perhaps they are correct. If simply honoring God's command to love our neighbors as ourselves, including the most defenseless, preborn neighbors, brings controversy to our doorstep, so be it. Maybe our lives here can teach the nation a lesson about what it means to practice the golden rule and do for innocent babies a bare minimum of what we would want done for us. Gentlemen, I don't say these things lightly. I know that sticking your necks out is not a joking issue. I know you have experienced the targeted hatred of those who love and celebrate the right of women to slaughter their own defenseless children. I have been the target of their physical bullying on the street and the focus of their slander and lies on the internet. I've been followed blocks down the street to my car where they threaten that they know where I live. They have showed up at my work and sent death threats to me by email. I've been pushed, shoved, licked, had ear-damaging sirens blared in my face. I've been slandered with accusations of prostitution and incestuous relationships, both to my face and on the internet. And most disturbing of all, have heard every kind of blasphemy spoken against the precious name of Christ. Since your actions here in Washington County are getting press, I expect you've experienced similar negative attention. Their vitriol is directed at you because you dared to stand up. They bully because bullying is all they have. Gentlemen, the moral authority is on your side. Passing an ordinance to keep baby murder out of this jurisdiction is merely obedience to God's command to love your neighbor as yourself and to do for helpless babies what you would want anyone else to do for you. This is Christianity 101. The legal authority is also on your side. I don't know if you all read the memo that Isha Juhas gave you at your last meeting. If not, I encourage you to do so. You cannot pass your moral responsibility to anyone else. You have both the legal right and the moral duty to do what is right and just and protect the people in your jurisdiction, all of them. No one cares about your personal pro-life opinions. That's not why we're here today. We're here today about your actions. The Bible leaves no room for a Christianity that stays in your heart and fails to work its way out in your deeds. Faith without works is dead. Jesus rebuked the leaders of his day for contenting themselves with tithing their mint and cumin while neglecting the weightier matters of justice and mercy. And the book of James warns us that whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin. It's easy for us to look back in the history books and praise the courage of those who were heroes in another age. We imagine that if we lived in their time, we would have been with them. We would have been one of them. But gentlemen, heroes are forged in the fires of adversity. You don't get to wear the badge of courage if you're unwilling to take the heat. I urge you to remember that the opposition and bullying that is targeted at you right now is exactly what you're protecting the people of Washington County from. If you pass this ordinance, you are putting up a shield and you are taking the heat. Hold the line. May God be with you. Thank you.